Dr. Owusu Ochoa. It's Dr. O for the 804. As the premier knee and hip shoulder sports surgeon in Virginia, I would like to remind you that health equals power. Sports build and uplift communities, nothing else can. The mission of sports medicine is to keep athletes of all ages and levels at the top of their game. Dr. O is located at Ortho, Virginia, Schrader Road office location. Appointments can be scheduled online at orthovirginia.com or by calling 804-939-6688. You can follow Dr. O on Instagram at Dr. O _ for the 804 and uplifting educational content about sports health.
Hi everyone, I'm Coach Rick Stockel. I am co-owner of Newman & Dunn Real Estate here in Central Virginia, as well as I am a high school boys basketball coach at Monacan High School. I've sold over 1,300 homes here in Central Virginia, and I would love to work with you and your family in your home buying needs. I am a proud primary sponsor of Ballin' in Virginia, and I hope you enjoy this show.
Welcome to another episode of BallinVA. Today, man, I got the 804 Youth Recreation Football coaches here. How y'all doing, coaches?
So good.
Well, we're going to live it up a little bit. I need y'all to get some sangria in y'all. So, but no, it's all good. Today, man, I got Coach Pooka Scott. I got Coach Chris Woody. I got Coach Charles Scott. I got Coach Linwood Johnson. I got Coach Barrick. And I got Coach Robbie Jackson. What is happening, y'all?
What's going on, man?
But first, before we start, man, I want to give a shout out to Uncle Rod's Kitchen for providing us this food today, man. Some salmon, some asparagus, and some yellow rice, man. So hopefully, when y'all leave here, take it home, y'all send that man a shout out and follow him on Instagram at Uncle Rod's Kitchen. It's not gonna make it home. Okay, so you didn't already dove into it. Okay, no, we appreciate you, man. And him doing it. He hit me up and said he wanted to provide us some food for a podcast. I was like, here we go, man. He did an outstanding job with that. So y'all eat up, man.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah, shout out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So what's going on in the rec football world, man? Y'all did finish y'all respective high school seasons. And this recently retired guy right here, I guess. But we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, you know I had to mess with you, man. But yeah, so what's going on in that world? Because I ain't from that world, so y'all gonna have to educate me on the rec football, the youth football in the community, man. Who want to start to talk about where y'all started and, how y'all maintain to be in it right now?
Yeah, I'll start it. I think it's stronger than ever.
Okay.
There's a lot of good focus on taking the kids to the next level, whatever that level may be. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different avenues, whether it's flag, whether it's 7-on-7, preparing them for the tackle season. I think I really truly believe it's stronger than ever.
Well, I had Gary Hess on here, and they talked about the pipelines that come from the recreation area up into area, and they was talking about Glen Lee and stuff like that, and they were just one of the teams that they talked about, man. And I know you represent the Canes. Rich City is here, you know what I'm saying? So come on, y'all, somebody stop me off. Wants to go Pooka, let me know, because you've been in it for what? How long?
33.
33 years.
33 years, bro. Yeah, started off at Varina, man.
Okay.
I'm a Varina guy. Mm-hmm. Grew up when I moved from the city, I moved to Varina. And I fell in love with football first from the Armstrong Walker game.
Okay.
My grandmother worked at Armstrong. She lived 2 blocks from City Stadium. She worked ticket booth. I was in that game, every year from that time I was 2 years old until they stopped it. Played at Varina Rec, played at Varina High School. Always wanted to coach, so I got my start at Varina. Guy named Gene Akers, who used to be the president of Varina, gave me my first shot. Was 18 years old. I got a full ride to Virginia Union. Coming out of high school, was red-shirted, so on weekends I would coach, and then the following year I left Union, had a little hiatus from school, so I was coaching and working before I ended up getting back in school, but that's where I fell in love with it at Varina Recreation Road. That's where my foundation of coaching started, and that's where I kind of got the first vision of creating a pipeline.
Okay.
That vision I had came to me in 1992.
Damn.
So my vision was to build Varina Rec up, to make them champions, first of all. We hadn't had many rec champions at Varina at that time. Matter of fact, probably maybe that I know of, maybe 2 championships. But it's plenty of time before me. But yeah, man, got my first head coaching opportunity. Took a team that had only won 3 games. That first year I got them, we went to the championship, lost to Glenlee, and then we ripped off 43 straight. And that's where Varina High School, and I'm not saying I'm taking a lot of credit, but the foundation of those kids that won the first regional championship at Varina, those are my first kids.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about Damian Roots, Kevin Lewis, Sherrod Briggs, Sherelle Briggs, all those guys, man. Those are the first guys that have Varina win their first, Trey Bailey win that first region. So that's when the pipeline started, man, for me. And, I tried to do the same thing at Glenlee for Highland Springs, and we was very successful there as well. So,
Coach Scott, man, you was one of the people that helped put this thing together, man. Why don't you go ahead and step in and tell us, how you got started?
Yeah, so I got started off the fence. What I mean by that is I came home from college. I had my oldest son playing at Falling Creek. And I was just watching, and then I seen they needed some help. I didn't really want to do it. I never looked at myself as coaching. Coach asked me to come out and coach. Asked me to come out and help. Ended up helping. So I really started as a running back coach at Falling Creek in CQL 10-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say any of the coaches that, want to get where some of the guys are, man, you start from the bottom and just grind your way all the way up.
definitely.
And that was years and years ago. I've been doing this since I started at Kane in 2010. Was at Chocolate 09, 08, so you had to go back to probably 06 where I was at probably at Falling Creek. Back in probably 06. So I've basically been coaching, youth ball since 06.
And you mean,
Started.
yes, you been more recent, man. I'm thinking that you was back there, a little bit further back, man. But you pretty much a newbie, and the work that you've done so far, man, is remarkable. Considering that you got top of high school programs at LCA now at Huguenot. This is just me. It could be more than that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of you, bro. And ever since me and you have connected, man, we've been one. So I appreciate you just letting me in.
I fell in love with it. Hit the game running. Like I said, from 06 to now, still haven't stopped. From Falling Creek to Chocolate. Like I said, went to 2 Super Bowls on the senior level. Lost the first one, won the second one, and from there we started the Hurricanes. We just made a heck of a run. 28 championships later.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something before I get to Wood. We had a podcast. We had Walee's son here. We had Turk's son here. Yeah, excuse me, I can't think of their names right now. I'm showing my age. And they was in here talking about the rec programs, talking about who was the best between the Canes and Glen Lee and Rich City and all that stuff. So we're going to get to that debate and stuff like that. But they was in here, and it was funny because we did the podcast, and they was talking about, dog, we the best, we the beat y'all, blah, blah, blah. So I know y'all go through that stuff, man. Being out there on a Saturday. So the only thing, when I think of rec football, I think about fishing, eating. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about. I'm going to such a stand. That's just me.
You got the best one.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm going to eat. So I'm going to be honest with you, man.
That's a whole other podcast.
I ain't gonna even lie, because I ain't trying to get up if I ain't got to get up on a Saturday, if I ain't got to go to work, I'm trying to stay in the bed. So the fact that you guys are dedicated and y'all doing this stuff for free in the community, man, and I ain't gonna even get to we get to the parents to that too, because I can imagine what y'all go through. But Wood, man, give us your background, bro.
So I started about 2006, 5. I was at St. Paul's. Left from St. Paul's, got in a little trouble. And this kind of the trouble that I got in kind of is what shifted me to doing youth football. One of my homeboys, Greg Guy,
He ended up, I think I met him at the store one day, and I hadn't seen him in years. And he told me he was coaching down at the Hut, which is, at the time, it was the Powhatan Hill. That's all I knew because I'm from Southside. I played for Bell Mead, so I always knew him as, they were the Hut. But he told me Powhatan, so I didn't really know what he was talking about.
Powhatan
You
County.
know what I'm saying? At the time. So and he was like, when we win, I was like, oh, this is the Hut. So I got that's where I started at. And he was there, he coached and he ended up doing some other things, started moving on, but I ended up staying. So I got my first head coach job down there at the Hut, and it was a ball. Like city football back then when I started, it was a whole different atmosphere. So I started there and then ended up starting Rich City at 2010.
Okay.
About the same time the Canes started, actually. So we started that, and the reason I started that was I was doing the rec football in the city, and I was cool with it, but I just didn't like what the kids were getting. I wanted to get the kids a little bit more, know. And that's when we started doing the travel. At the time, it was AAU football.
Right.
Before, that was just like AAU basketball. At that time, it wasn't any travel football out, period. So
right, it wasn't.
Our goal was, let's get these kids playing football. Also, while we playing football, they can travel, see different areas, because a lot of our kids hadn't been from, north side, south side, wherever. They hadn't left the city. Just going to Virginia Beach was a whole different lifestyle for them. And it wasn't even but a 2-hour drive. But just to see the kids' faces and, the experience they got traveling, that was why we ended up doing it. Just to give them a different experience. And, it kind of just funneled over to, being at Rich City, we started and we, still running it. So that's just kind of a start of everything else. But that's just kind of, where it started at.
Well, I saw you in the paper this week. Was it this week or last week?
What's that paper?
The newspaper. Was you in the newspaper?
No, it might have been an old article.
An old article or something?
Yeah, posted.
Yeah, I posted that. Yeah. See, like I said, I'm new to this, man, because I'm on the basketball side.
Yeah.
So all I hear when I go places, if I'm at a game, I'm getting people, man, you should interview, Coach Scott. You should interview Rich City. Oh, you need to talk to Pooka. You need to talk to Leaper.
Yeah.
You need to talk to people. I'm like, oh my God, like how am I gonna do all of that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't put so many episodes, so to try to get all of you guys on here, it's like, just great, man. So we're going to kind of dive more into that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Coach Bard, I'm sorry, go ahead, Wood.
No, I was just saying, like you say, because there's so much other stuff that I'm sure throughout the show we're going to talk about. But
we got time. We got a whole nother hour to get that, so we're going to dive into that, whatever y'all want.
I'm the fossil here because I've been doing this thing for 34 years and been doing it since 1976, really.
Oh, wow, man. I was 2 years old, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm a fossil.
I ain't go back as my plan.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's
it
been in my blood since then.
Wow. So we're gonna circle back because we want to kind of get into why, and you still in it. It's like, man, if you told me that you was in it in 1976, I'm telling you lying. I know you got the silver and everything, man, but come on, man. Come on now, Coach Bard, come on, give us a rundown, man.
So I never had any intentions on coaching rec football. I was friends with Coach Q. We worked together 20 plus years ago, and he was coaching the flag team at Hopkins in the CQL. He used to always ask me, like, yeah, come help me coach. I didn't have any kids at that time. Different person back then, kid free, doing me, motorcycles, having a good time, providing a living for myself. And y'all thinking about that when y'all ain't had no kids.
Yeah.
Good time. I love my kids. They help change my life. They saved my life. But I won't think about coaching young kids at that 6, 7, 8 years old. And he kept asking me, and I found out, like, man, I'll come check it out. And I'm a prior Marine. Well, Marine. He's a Marine too.
Okay.
And he ran the practice similar to boot camp.
Okay.
It's the whole, you probably hear eyeballs, kids snap, and they looking to see what you're talking about. I'm like, I can relate to that. Football is football. It ain't gonna never change too much. The basis is the basis, but being able to reach young kids on that level and treating them like what you wanted to be, not babying. I thought it was gonna be more so babysitting, but we were building up young men, and they were taking to it. And I fell in love with it. Been doing it ever since. CQL 9 years. Went to Metro. I played in Metro. CQL is great. I just saw more opportunities over in Metro. You know, Pooka and them was still coaching. Rodney, Chris. You know, a lot of people that Robbie. A lot of people that I looked up to from across the water, seeing what they were doing. You know, there's more hype over there. You get more, what you want to say, publicity. You know, I'm like, man, they doing like Pooka them another championship. You know, Leeper. I got to see what these dudes doing, what they're about. And I just felt like it was a better situation for my own son. And we moved over to Varina Rec, over on Rec Road, and I never regretted it. Varina community is awesome. They welcome me like family. I'm still there now, coaching at the high school.
Okay. Coach, you to put yourself out there, man.
Little bad feelings in the air here. It's all love. But I don't know, you know, never wanted to do it, but the thing I love about it the most is helping the young man. I always been telling kids for the longest time, football is going to end one day for everybody. But the lessons and things you learn through football will live on forever. So I'll keep doing it as long as I can keep being influential and helping kids be better, be their best them.
That's what's up, man. Coach Robbie.
Yep.
Had a chance to meet you this past season on the sidelines at Highland Springs. Give us your background, bro.
Kind of like Scott, I got started kind of off the fence. You know, my oldest son was playing, and you know, quite frankly, I didn't like what I saw. So and this was flag. At the
I'm sure that's why all of y'all got in it.
Probably everybody had a similar start, you know, at some point. But I just, you know, after a practice one day, I asked the coach, "Hey, listen, y'all need any help, man?" You know, and he was like, "Yeah, we could really use."
He was one of them.
Yeah. I said, "Yeah, stay."
I got that
Brave
paper
soul.
for you right here.
Back off though.
Brave soul.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, you know, I never had any intention of coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, because back, you know, I was fortunate. I played high school at Hermitage. I almost hit Highland Springs at Hermitage, and went to college at Towson University, and you know, once I got done playing in college and had the opportunity to try for professional football, and it kind of fell through, put a very sour taste in my mouth. So I didn't watch football for like 3 years. And then, so to fast forward to say I began coaching it was different. But I had spoken to somebody like before that situation happened where I saw a need, and they were like, you know, you played too long, you've gotten too much football to just keep it to yourself. You got to give it to somebody in some kind of way. And then, like, it was probably a month later, that's when that whole thing with the practice happened. So that's where the opportunity started to be able to give what was given to me back to the kids. You know what I mean? And so I was at Laurel for, that was like 6 years as flag. Just kind of helped out the first couple of years, became a head coach. Had some of, to this day, some of the most epic rivalry games with him, with Coach Pooka, that people still talk about because it was football. It wasn't any extra to it. It was just kids that you saw that were taught the game the right way. They won the right way. They lost the right way. And not just our teams, but across Metro as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time at that particular time. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to say I was giving back to it during that time period. When I left Laurel, actually, I got a call from the late Carlos Johnson about going to East End when they started the East End organization. So I said, yeah, I'm do something different. So I went over there I was there for about 3 years, and then ended up coming back to going over to Glen Lee, a little closer to where I was. But for me, my kids were also playing. So it was about who's coaching them too, and who's around them and all that. That's what brought me over there. Nothing against, you know, where I was before, but just it felt more familiar and a little more comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it worked out great. You know, had some success over there, a couple championships there as well. And just overall, from a rec standpoint, it was just a great culmination to a nice rec experience. From there, I went on to coach. I was coaching at Glen Allen for a year, high school, Hermitage for a couple of years, and then the last 7 at Highland Springs High School.
Man, I want to ask y'all one question. That's some good stuff, man. I didn't know you was that deep. I thought you'd been in it for longer than that, man.
2003 was when I started, matter of fact.
I want to ask all y'all questions. Y'all can answer it any way y'all want. what made y'all like get into it? What makes y'all love it the way that y'all love it? Because you guys, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna speak for me, and y'all gonna have to refuse some of the parents or whoever may get offended by what I'm about to say, because I don't give a damn. Y'all got to love it, man, to get up on a Saturday. First of all, not there's excluded practices during the week, but on a Saturday morning when you done worked all week, and the most thing y'all doing it for free.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta love this stuff, man. What do y'all love about it the most?
I can respond to that right now. I know these guys probably saying the same thing. That same smell of that cut grass, that same atmosphere, that same dew on the ground when you played back in the 70s, 80s, whatever else, you still want that. You know what I'm saying? You still long for that. I know I had the same intensity and the same couldn't sleep the night before a game as a coach as I did as a player. You know what I'm saying? That means you love the game. You know, no
Right.
matter what you have to go through to be able to be there, to be around it, just to be between those lines. You know, at some difficult times in my life, I went to a football field.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To be in between the lines by myself. You know what I'm saying? That was my sanctuary. So when you are deep into the sport like that, and it's giving something to you that you like. With me, I use principles in business today, and even in raising my kids, I learned through the game of football. You know what I'm saying? So when you've experienced that, you love the game like that, you got to be able to give that back. And it's hard to. It takes a lot for you to not want to still do it for a long period of time for all those years. It takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It would take a whole lot, because if you really truly love it and it's truly in you. And you want to be able to jump through whatever hoops and do whatever it takes to be able to give this back to the kids and not just reap a personal result from that. Because to me, the personal result is the kid's success and not just a championship or a win or whatever. But when they've taken those principles into their life, into school, when they call you back, hey, coach, we want to say just say thank you for X, Y, Z. That's what it's all about. That's what the substance is from the game.
So it's a feeling you can't explain. But what I like to tell people, you may get it, you may not, is if I was to go into a coma, it's 2 days that when I woke up, I would know what it was. It's game day. I would know for a fact it's game day.
Wow.
It's Sunday morning. And 2 days feel different, no matter what.
Wow.
Game days and Sunday mornings, no matter what it is, it feels different.
Yep.
You can feel it.
Yep.
It ain't nothing you can explain. You just know.
Okay.
You say getting up on a Saturday morning, the atmosphere, that energy, that opportunity to go out there and put the work, what you've been grinding and working with these kids all week, all season. I wake up easy, way easier than I wake up to go to work. I hope nobody from my job see this, but it's the truth. Sometimes you can't even sleep depending on what game you got going on or where your mind at with it.
About to play some bones.
So the Friday nights be them sleepless nights, huh?
Man,
And to piggyback on what Robbie said, I think it's, for me personally, I had a good mentor. My dad ran this youth football for a long time.
Okay.
And I saw the difference that he made in, didn't matter what color you were, didn't matter your age, didn't matter what gender you were, he made a difference. And when you grow up into that, that's what you want to do. If you're not doing it for that reason, and to make somebody's life better, you're not doing it for the right reasons.
So that, and same with me, but I'm a little different. Why I'm still doing it is, I guess when I first started, it was all football minded. Like, hey, I want to do football because, we had stopped playing football. So, but over the years, and once you start doing it, I do it a little more just to get these kids, put a smile on their faces, pull them out of the situations that some of these kids in. Like, when we go pick kids up from practice, an hour, 2 hours, that situation might pull them out of a situation we couldn't bear or even think about that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to help some of these kids that's in different situations 4 times a week. And then on Saturday, they with you all day and sometimes don't even want to go home because, a lot of times the football field is the safe haven for some of these kids.
Yep.
Because going home is a lot worse than the football field.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I continue to do it, because I want to just help as many kids as I can, touch as many kids as I can for as long as I can do it.
Yeah, because you take a lot of, I know when I coached the basketball side, when I coached the AAU, when those kids get attached to you as a coach, then they coming home with you.
Right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And when you got your own kids and trying to have your own family, and it's like, man, just like, and I'm thinking of like, maybe we got 13 kids at the most. Y'all got like, that 50, 60 kids? Maybe it's less than that. I don't know.
I mean,
how y'all managed all that, man?
You know, about 30 per team.
Okay.
Talking as a coach.
Right.
You know, nowadays, I know some back then, they used to be, 40 or 30. It used to be a lot of kids back then.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids. You know,
You got about 25, 30 kids, per team, so.
You know, it's changed over the years, man, and I'm just that's why I'm just like, how do y'all just be able to balance all of that with work, life, football, just, I just.
You definitely have to balance it.
Right.
And finding that balance will be different for everybody. Mm-hmm. So for me, the love of football was definitely the beginning reason. Mm-hmm. And like I tell young coaches, I done spoke at plenty of events and to coaches in YFL. I speak at that every year. Mm-hmm. When I first started, it was the love of football, but I wanted to be a champion, right?
Right.
So all my focus was on being a champion, but I wasn't winning no championships. So lost to Glenn Lee, and there was a legendary coach at Ashland. I cannot remember the guy's name.
Eric Wilson.
White guy.
Yeah, Eric Wilson.
I mean, the man had a lot of championships. Mm-hmm. So I remember running over to him after the game, after I lost, and he was ready to play. I was like, Coach, can you tell me how you do it, man? How you win all these championships? Mm-hmm. And man looked at me, and this changed my everything about me coaching. Mm-hmm. He looked at me, he said, young man, when it stop being about you, you'll win. When you stop making it about you, you'll win. I was like, John hit me in the
like you said, you want to win,
right? And I thought about it, what I was doing when I was coaching. You know, I was making it about me. Mm-hmm. After I stopped doing it, took off. Saw him about 5 or 6 years later. By then I'm about 5 or 6 championships in. He said, "I'm glad you listened to me." So stuff like that changed my life. And then over 33 years of coaching, like these guys said, I done seen a lot, man, with kids. Mm-hmm. I pick kids up for 5 weeks and thinking I'm dropping them off in the house or somebody there, and they're there by themselves.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They're there by themselves. Stuff like that, man. Just finding out that a 10-year-old is going in the house by herself. So I get out the car, go in the house, there's no food in there. Mm-hmm. And then a little sister's upstairs. Mm-hmm. She's 5. She's been in that house every night that I've been picking him up and dropping him off. Mm-hmm. So when you get stuff like that, it's going to keep you going. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, it's 34 years in. You know what I'm saying? Man. So it's about changing lives, man. And ain't not one person sitting here at this point because of championships. Mm-hmm. It's about changing lives, man. Mm-hmm. And that's what keeps you going, dog.
Man, it's a lot of lives y'all done changed. And I done just been back into football the last couple of years, and I'm seeing, like, Coach Scott let me come to a game. Of course, I was out there with y'all this year everywhere, man, and came to some Varina games. And I'm just like, and I'm just seeing how deep y'all bedded into this thing, man. And Coach Scott, man, once you kind of go into, again, you got the Canes. I see a lot of stuff online, a lot of coaches I know about the Canes. Kind of give us some more background about, what your program's about.
I mean, touched on it a little bit. Obviously, it's about changing lives, but it's about opportunity. Mm-hmm. And it's morphed and changed, and we've done multiple things. Like, at one point in time when we first started, it was about, sort of like Will was saying, about showing kids, different things. Mm-hmm. It was about travel ball, showing them stuff outside of Richmond, outside of Chesterfield. Mm-hmm. Not just playing people in your backyard. Because what I have learned is the things that we're trying to accomplish, we're not just competing against guys in our backyard. A lot of these kids are trying to get scholarships, are trying to play at the next level. We're not just competing against guys in our backyard. So at that point in time, when we started, it was about And people hate the word, but it's about exposure. When they say, well, what is exposure? Well, again, I'm trying to expose these kids to a life outside of the county.
Right.
Life outside of the city. I'm trying to expose these kids to other opportunities. I'm trying to expose these kids to seeing that, hey, this kid over here from Cali, he get busy too. This kid over here in
Right.
Raleigh, Durham, he get busy too. You know what I mean? It's not just about the kids in your backyard. So hopefully it'll broaden your horizon. So when you don't feel like working, you're like, well, this cat in Carolina might be working. Let me put some work in. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, you know, why we started and how we started. And again, I presented the opportunity to Chocolate when I was at Chocolate. They shot it down. You know, said, nah, we don't want to change. We want to stay in CQL, which is cool. I'm back in CQL now, but we want to stay here. We want to do A, B, and C. Cool. But we're going to take this and we're going to move on. And that's kind of what happened. So again, for us, it was just about exposing the kids to a different way of life. You know, people hate when you say the word better, so I'm not going to say better, but it was a different. It was a different situation. Again, seeing other competition, playing outside of your county, of your city. That's really what it was about.
Because we talk about just the fan perspective. We talk about how, and we really gonna get into this part, where it was the championships in high school, how everybody was winning outside the Richmond area, and you two been in it for a long time, and we won't win in nothing. How has the high school landscape has changed with the rec football? Because now you're seeing everything is these pipelines that are being funneled into these high schools now, and now you're seeing more of our local schools around here are actually winning. I know we're saying that it's about the exposure and the opportunity, stuff like that, but we still want to win. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
Because for one, well, Coach Boone for Varina will always say I'm the enthusiast. And one thing that I talk about is these guys from 757. They cannot let it go. And it's been so many times where we get to the big dance and we always lose.
Hey, I can tell you now, and I know this gonna hurt some feelings, but I don't care. It was coaching.
I said that.
It was coaching.
I've always said that.
The brand of football around here was behind.
Okay.
In high school,
Right.
rec, we was slinging the ball.
Okay.
I was spread offense, no huddle in 96, 97, 98.
And they wouldn't.
And they wouldn't do it as they went up. But I watched several 7-5-7 teams knock teams off up here because during that time, nobody up here could pass.
Right.
And nobody could stop the pass. So 7-5-7 would come up here and throw the ball on us.
All the time.
So that was part of it. And 7-5-7 Ben had the pipelines, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do that here. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it was a changing of the guard.
Okay.
Right? It was stuck in the old way, in the way. And I didn't, and Charles and them know, I talk to them all the time. The tribal thing, to me, won't it. But I understood. Me and him had plenty of conversation. I respect it. That just wasn't my lane, right?
Right.
I got to tell a funny story about this dude.
No,
right?
go ahead.
So near the end of my time at Glen Lee, you know, we had the lot of winning. And we had a game. I can't remember who it was, but, you know, everybody would come to Glen Lee on Saturdays after their games. Everybody know that. And here this dude standing by the bathrooms. Hey, what's up, man? Like, what's up? I'm still keeping it moving. Hey, we want to play y'all because we can beat y'all.
That's him? Yeah, I already said that sounds like him.
Like, what's this
And
dude?
I haven't even known him for even a year, but
I'm like, who
I
is
do
this
know
dude,
that. Yeah,
man?
that sounds like
Who
him.
is this dude? And Rodney Leeper hit me, you know, because Rodney be knowing what's going on, but he was like, hey, that's a dude named Charles Scott. I said, this cat talking about they want to play us, man. We destroy them people, man. And then, we went back and forth a little bit. We won't know no beef stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, this cat, like, he really think he, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that a couple of weeks ago, I just laughed about it, right? But that's the same way.
That's how I
That's
met
the
him.
same way I was when I came into the scene. I was beating these older legendary rec coaches, beating them to death, and they hated me, and they hated him. They hated him. They hated him. So when you do that to people, people get, it's just be basically hate because they can't do what you're doing, and they don't understand what you're doing. So then you become a villain, and I love that.
Oh, I love
I
it
ate
too.
that up. But I just had to tell that story, man. He, like you said, he jumped off the porch and he came up there. the barking at the big dog. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
he rough on a lot of
Hey,
fellas.
look,
I
man.
love it.
And then he had.
I love it.
What's your other coach
Say
name?
what's with me. Say, I grew up with Say.
No. It was the older guy. The older-
Gene.
Gene. Gene's like, no,
Go
we
Coach
want your
Gene.
ass. Gene's like, we want your ass. I was like, no, y'all not ready for this. But at the time, though, we was the weights and stuff was different. So, but yeah, man, it was just but it's the changing of the guard, man, and it's gonna be some guys. Well, it already is some guys now,
Right.
Young guys that's coming that think we old and we, y'all need to get out the way. But yeah, man, it's like he said, it's great in football in Richmond right now, and you got the different lanes. You got the people that want to travel. Metro is strong with the local thing. Good competition. I went out there to the Metro Championships last year. Atmosphere was amazing. I mean, amazing. Kids break it. I mean, it's erupting. And I hadn't seen that in a while because of the way that the new style ball is. The organizations ain't all at the same place all day.
Okay.
So the game day atmosphere is a little different than what it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have two teams here.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, it's in a good place. It's in a good place, man, because everybody doing their thing, and just if everybody could just, focus on the kids, dog. That's the main thing. Just make all the decisions they make. Think about the kids. Think about what they saying in front of the kids. Think about what they doing in front of the kids. That's really the only problem I got right now with the whole deal. Going to the fields on Saturdays and seeing some of the stuff that I see. So
I wish the area would go away from the odds. That's just me personally.
Yeah, that's something we working on now.
Listen.
I mean, because that's
he know it. I said it to me
and
years ago.
Over time,
It's gonna kill it.
like, and we didn't came back because at one time, it was. Man, we had so many kids in football. You had odd teams. I mean, because even with the travel ball, the games was packed. But now you got technology. These kids ain't coming back. These kids ain't playing football like they was
Really?
2 years ago.
That was my next question.
So a lot of it, now at this point, we need to go back to the evens because that's where we at now. And times change just like anything, you know what I'm saying? At one point, the odds was cool. That's what we needed. But like they said, now we got to go back to, the evens to make it, like you said, more family-oriented where everybody can have their whole org there. I agree with it now, you know what I'm saying? But it's just because times are changing.
And I think you get a better brand of football. And the reason is when you go single age groups, all of the grade 11-year-olds could go to one place or two places. When you have double age groups, that thing got to split up. So back in the day, I'm talking about, I look at my schedule, his dad's made schedule. Mike Woody, is his father that you don't know. He was the original commissioner of NYFL. Great man, did a lot for the whole state as far as rec football. Like he's the god of that. Man, we would get those schedules. Now I look at my schedule. I got Varina. I was at Varina. I would have Glenlee, Laurel, Highland Springs, Blue Star, Mechanicsville, Chamberlain, like Virginia Randolph, and everybody was good. Everybody was good. Everybody had 5 or 6 ringers on their team because everybody couldn't go to the Canes, the Glenlee, the Rich City. It had to be dispersed evenly, man. But I think that's exactly what double age groups.
That's what watered down travel ball too, though.
Yeah.
Like originally, it was you had the Canes,
Yeah, it's hard
Spiders.
to keep. It's hard to keep up with that.
Yeah, because we knew we wanted elite teams to
Yeah.
travel because at first it was maybe 2 travel teams here. So now the rest of our games was Tidewater, Northern Virginia,
that's
Maryland. So it was a lot more competitive. But now everybody's doing travel ball. It, like you say, it's just you don't get the same competitiveness that we used to get.
Yeah. To me, when you do the evens, you also help train the parents. And what I mean by that is, little Johnny might not be the man this year, but he's gonna get his reps. He's gonna practice. He's gonna get his reps up. But next year, he should be the man, or he should see some progress. You know what I'm saying? Right now, everybody, he got to start right now. He got to be the man right now. And if not, they're gonna take him over there. If he go over there, and he's still not the man, then they're gonna take him over here. So again, you're not training the parents, and then that's also doing the kids a disservice. So every year they think they're supposed to start. And now you can almost see it in the college. If they're a freshman in college, they don't get the tick they want. They
transfer, right.
So and then man, again.
And it's a rude awakening when a lot of kids get to high school.
Really?
We see it. I guarantee you, everybody that's in high school
Definitely.
coaching, you
Definitely.
see it, dog. You see it. The kids, they someone will tap out
The other
because
thing
they're
is
not used to working.
that and the football IQ is lower and lower when you get to high school too, because you got a lot of teams that are watered down. So the coach's focus is win a championship and that's it. Just recruit whoever and all that. You still got to coach. You know what I mean? You can always tell who's been coached up and who's not.
Yeah.
And those kids trickle up to high school. Why ain't so and so playing? Why ain't so and so? He was the man in rec. You know,
Yep.
it's a
You hear
whole
that a lot.
different- A whole different thing. You know what I mean? And again, they have a rude awakening in high school. You know, and some of them kind of resist it. They don't want to learn. You know, and they'll say, all right, I want to be on the field. I have to go ahead and do what I got to do and listen to what my coach is telling me and run it this way and that. You know, but it's not like just the fastest guy. This is how I run everybody around the end anymore. You know what I mean? When everybody's coached up well, even in rec. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big part of it too, where the coaching changed some because it was just, and this is a social media thing, it was just a need for everyone to want to be able to post their championship trophy and everything else, but to forget about the process. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's how you get there. It ain't getting there. It's how you got there. And, you know, winning the championship is great, but if you get, to me, my opinion, if I got 5, 6, 8 kids go to high school and they don't know what anything other than a cover 3 or any route other than a slant, or they don't know what A, B, C, D gap is, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then I did them a disservice. Who cares about the trophy on the shelf? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's he hit that on the head. They're 14-year-olds coming in high school, have no idea. They play DB now. They have no idea what cover 2, cover 3, cover 4.
Yeah.
They don't have no clue.
So who you would say is at fault for that?
I think it's the parent, and I think it's definitely the coaches that are coaching those kids, because if you're staying with the same coach, or if you're bouncing around, somebody should be teaching you at some point. But, and that, not to say coaching is worse now, but I watched some pretty bad coaching on Saturdays. That is pretty bad. To the point where I try to stay back, but I got it. Hey, can I talk to you? I went a couple of years ago at Glenlee, a coach was coaching against Petersburg. I can't remember where he was from. But I'm just sitting there watching the game, and they're on offense. And every play they ran in the first half all went to the right. Every play. So at halftime, I was like, should I say something? Because I don't know if these dudes will get offended. I said, forget it. I walked down there. I said, hey, coach, who your head coach? He was like, I'm the head coach. I said, who your offensive coordinator? You know, my boy. I said, can I talk to you for a minute? Introduced myself. Of course, he didn't have no idea who I was. Because, you know, that's how it is now. They don't know who you are. And I said, hey, you right-handed, dog? He was like, yeah, how you know? I said, because you called every play to the right, bro. The whole first half. And he was like, I did? I said, yeah. I said, because you right-handed, that's the only way you, I said, when you draw your plays up, everything to the right hand. He was like, yeah. I said, try to run something to the left. He said, I got you. I went back, all in the cut. They got the ball, first play ran to the left, kid broke it, went 80 yards. He turned around to me, was like, big homie. Because I told him, I said, the defensive coach of the other team, you didn't see him switch all of his good players to the to the right, and he was running to the wide side. So, you know, it's stuff like that. But, you know, it's a lot of cats nowadays that don't want to learn, though.
So why are they in it?
We offer a clinic free, and we did when we asked for donations, but a lot of people didn't show up. I don't know why. I can't answer that question, but if guys like this are out there and you're a younger coach, man, put down your pride, dog, and reach out to one of these guys, because you definitely can learn. I was in year 33 this year, and I was still learning.
You always learn, especially, and I mean, that's life, you know. You're going to
Yeah.
continue to learn, so.
Yeah, so
I mean, to me, some of the problem in coaching is teaching.
well, you got to teach.
And in order to teach, you got to be qualified. In order to teach, you got to pass certain tests to show that you qualified teacher. Unfortunately, to coach youth boys, don't have to do that. You know what I mean? So now we got some guys that aren't qualified. And see, and again, that doesn't mean you're not a good guy. Because you're volunteering your time and you're out there helping and coaching. But everybody ain't ready yet and everybody not qualified. So again, if you're not in a space where, okay, I'm willing to volunteer my time, and I'm also willing to learn so that I can I can get coached up so that I can coach and teach these kids. Then the kids that's when it comes with disservice. And that's when you do see a lot of guys where unfortunately it does become about them. So they can put on whatever team they repping. They can go on social media and say, this is my mob, and we're gonna wait and see if we're gonna beat y'all. And because they may have a good collection of talent, you know what I mean? So they may win some games, and everybody think they doing this a great job of coaching, and sometimes it just ain't that way. And you start to see it when you see national ball. You start to see it in the states and regionals and nationals. You know, might go home first round nationals, but they done ran into some dogs. They got dogs, and now they get out coached. You know what I'm saying? And even the best coach can get out coached. But I'm just saying at the same time is, I would just like to see guys be a little more qualified. You know, because they teaching these kids, they teaching these babies, and again, you can't even get a job. You can't even drive without a driver's license.
Right.
Any job that y'all have, you got to be qualified to do it. So why do we not hold? And then I can speak to myself. Why do we not hold our coaches or coaches under us or coaches that's coaching in the 804 to that same standard?
And now no coaches.
Yeah, I agree. That's real though. You
Not
ain't
none
coaches.
as in none, but you wouldn't be able to
won't have
fill
a
all
lot of
these
coaches.
teams if you
Well, it's
tell
already
people.
too many times.
And that's a part of the
Mhm.
problem. Like
Yeah.
you say, if you put some, maybe if you put some type of qualification, that'll dwindle down, cut back on all the teams that we got. But I mean, I agree. Like,
But right now you're also coaching the people in the stands, the parents, their expectations too.
That's the whole nother thing.
I
Yeah.
don't pay no attention.
Nah,
at
yeah,
all.
coaching
They're,
people.
they're
I don't even-
expecting at this point that their kid shows up just because he's good, he's going to start. And you have to start educating them that he doesn't know the game that well. You don't know the game that well. Back in the day, and I hate to say that, but back in the day, parents didn't chirp over the rope or the fence.
They weren't there. Most of them weren't there.
And that was a good thing.
Right.
Now they're going to put
Right.
they're going to put their tent. They're going to put all their chairs. Some bring grills.
Right. They sure did. That's why I go.
And,
Because a little bit of times I do, I go.
and you are expected to. Their expectations are, I'm here. I've devoted all my time. They're going to play, and if you don't play them, then I'm going to take them down the street to somewhere else. And then that kid suffers because he's not going to get the good coaching where he is.
Yep.
He's going to get bumped there. It's no different than changing schools every year, right? You change schools every year, you're not going to be a very good student. You change organizations every year, you're not going to be a good athlete, no matter what it is. Baseball, softball, football, it doesn't
You
matter.
can miss lessons. You can miss lessons.
The thing that changed.
You're missing life lessons.
The thing that changed with the parents from when I started 20 plus years ago, and I know y'all can say it because y'all been doing it over a decade before me, is the parents younger now. Like when I first started coaching, I was coaching
That's true.
6, 7, 8-year-olds. The parents was in their 40s.
Right.
Now I just finished coaching 7U last year. His parents in their 20s.
Right.
And over the years,
Great point.
they got younger and younger, and then they had horrible influences before them that showed them the wrong way. Yell at your coach, you know what I'm saying? Sit right behind them. You got a problem, run up on them after the game over.
Right. Yeah, we see a lot of that.
all of that. And then when you knew, you like, I don't know what to expect. Ain't nobody guiding you. You see chaos. You kind of form and mold yourself into the chaos, and then a lot of people add their own shit to it too. I beg you cuss on here.
You good.
No, too late now.
You good.
Beat that out. But that's where it's at, man. Like you see a lot of yelling, screaming, coaches getting ran up on. I've had it happen once, and
Somebody ran up on you.
not ran up on me like when you was physical, like
Yeah.
we ready to leave. It's the season. It's too late in the season. This and that. I was like, well, go. You can carry your ass. Like, cause I know I'm doing it right over here.
Right.
I'm not gonna change it because you don't agree with it. I'm doing right by these kids. I'm doing right by the parents, but I don't coach for the parents. Like I was told that a long time ago. If you try to please the parents, you gonna
Yeah,
always
you
lose.
already lost, right?
So at the beginning and end of the day, I can ask myself anytime, like, are you doing your best for these kids? And if I can't answer that yes, then I'm gonna do more. If I can answer myself yes, I'm gonna sleep good at night, and that's it. But the parents getting young, and the atmosphere is out of control. Like,
Yeah.
you see people just on the sideline with teams. You know, no team, I'm not gonna name no teams, but smoking cigarettes on the sideline, smoking Black and Miles in a huddle at practice. Like, what are y'all doing?
That's tough.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not making nothing up. I know y'all probably
No, we seen that.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't even be a part of nothing like that. Like, I built my name up on being the right type of person for these kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. Trust and believe I'm not perfect.
Right.
But it's going. The numbers are there. People, the love for the game is still there. But the atmosphere needs to get cleaned up.
Refocused on who it's all really about.
Another thing, social media. Social media was one of the biggest things of it. Like,
FOMO.
Still got people to this day that don't talk to me because they just be like, because I'm in a football group.
Okay.
They know names, but as soon as I get to from CQL to Metro, first game, across the field, take that weak ass shit back to CQL.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm competitive. You hear me? Like, I'm talking about competitive. And I love to talk shit. So I'm like, bet. So when we in the groups, I'm talking my shit. But a lot of people, that's all they see is the groups. They don't see what you do behind the scenes. They don't see how you structure your practice, how you pour into the kids, what's, everything that makes you who you are as a coach. They only get to see what they see on social media, and maybe they see it at a football game. But that's how you get a bad rep because of social media. That's still to this day they don't like me because they think like he arrogant, this and that, this and that. If y'all talk shit to me, I'm gonna talk shit too. But behind the scenes, I'm giving them kids every single thing possible. For football, on the field, and off it. But social media and the age of these parents getting younger and younger is a bad recipe.
And with that comes the word I always use, FOMO, fear of missing out. They don't want to miss out on posting something about their kids scoring, or they don't want to miss the coaches posting their trophy and all this kind of stuff. And you forget the nucleus of what it's all about is the kids. You know what I'm saying? You see all them on the video, but you don't see the kids at all.
No,
you don't.
You see them celebrate.
Yeah, you only see if the kid happened to post it. But think about that. You see all the adults on it. Well, who you really doing it for? That really tells me everything right there. You know what I'm saying?
So they can go to work the next day and show it off.
Yeah.
One more thing, and lack of accountability. That's not just a football thing. That's in life. Like, take it, for instance, a team lose a game, right? Parents already got the homemade excuses up, and they give it to the kid. They don't take that as an opportunity to teach life lessons to their kid through an adverse situation. Like, my first conversation with my kids, how was your game? How you feel about your game? What did you do wrong? Before you come to me, man, such and such fumbled. No, we will talk about us. What we can control, pretty much the only thing you can control. What do you need to do better? And not just I need to work harder. No, minute details of it. We'll come up with a plan, and we're going to make sure that plan is put into place. And then, we're going to be realistic about it. We can talk about other things, but you're going to get used to looking inside yourself first when you don't accomplish a certain goal. Nowadays, parents don't even get a kid a chance to even decompress and rationalize what happened. Man, goddamn coaches, this and that.
It's always
such and such tricked the game up. He fumbled the ball. He threw the interception. So the kid's mindset.
They
cheated.
Or the referees, or the young age, kids are never being held accountable for not being their best them. And it gets stronger and stronger through rec football. And like Pooka said, when they get to high school, and you got to force them to look at themselves and be like, bro, you're not on the field because of you. A lot of them like, what you mean? Like,
can't take that.
It ain't never been. It was never me. It was always bro. It's been you the whole time. But your parents stripped you of that opportunity. A lot of these coaches strip these kids of that opportunity to go into their own selves and become a man and hold themselves accountable. Because a lot of these coaches in rec football, they're not gonna punish the stud that they just got from Glenn Lee, or they got from Varina. Because I don't want to lose them. I don't want to lose them.
I hate that coach. I should be like, man, let them go.
Look, you can find somewhere else better than here, then go. I had people leave, and we done beat the shit out of them, and guess what?
That's what I about to say.
Coach, man, I was tripping last year. You was right. That shit different.
I was tripping back there. Actually, my chain.
The one dude that ran up on me about playing time, and it was too late for him to leave. He left in the spring. We put 50 on him. Not on purpose, not to the kid, but it just got out of control. He was back in the fall.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Glen Allen has some dogs too.
In a pretty field.
And listen, to piggyback off what you were saying about the game day structure and how the fields are. A lot of, and not putting it down, but a lot of the newer leagues don't have the rules, man. And when they do have rules, they don't enforce them. I've seen players fight, and the player playing next week. How?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you
And the volunteer.
Accountability.
And his father, Mike Woody, that's the reason a lot of some people got mad and wanted to leave Metro. Metro had rules, dog. Metro had life sentences. You know, you do some crazy stuff like fighting, you done for the year. And what they used to call it, Chris? No
Zero tolerance.
No zero tolerance. You ain't have all that crazy stuff going on. Now Metro had a few incidents here and there, but it won't like parents knew if I screw up, my child done. And that's unfortunate. But it's a hard truth to keep order. You feel me? I can see the difference. Go out to a Metro game and then go to another league game. Totally different. And you can see it. You don't see people fussing with the ref. I seen dude walk on the field, man, put his pants up square with the referee in front of 7-year-old kids.
And nothing happened?
I don't know what happened, but I'm just saying, what's going to make me want to fight this man in the middle of a field over a 7-year-old football game that lasts 32 minutes? Like, that's ridiculous.
I can tell you why. Because they done said all this on social media. Now they embarrassed. They done took the L.
Right.
Now they don't know. So again, I said it on another podcast. Before as soon as the game's over, they go straight to social media.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he said that.
See, and then if don't let the game be streamed, now they don't look at all 300. They look at all
Yeah, let me see.
Now they don't respond
Yeah.
to somebody saying something about them. That's when you go back to it's not about the kids.
Yeah, see, I'm not part of the era, so I'm glad you. See, I ain't even think about that.
Yeah, he said
Like,
that.
You're right. You're right.
But don't they lose their money if they get kicked out of the league?
Well, in reality, I don't even know the specific situation, but I've seen some of these situations like that, and rarely has somebody been banned for life or kicked out of the league. You know what I mean? They might get a week suspension or something like that. So the consequence ain't enough to be a true deterrent.
So let me ask you a question. If they say they want to leave the Canes and go to Glen League, do they have to, they pay the money with you? Don't they have to pay the money when they come to you too?
Or somebody with me and they pay and they go to the league.
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna go ahead and sit down with you.
Oh, for real? Or you give them their money
I
back?
don't owe nobody back.
Yeah. When I was president of Glen League, I ain't gonna hold you back, but you ain't getting that money back.
Okay.
That bread stay.
You leave me, you gone. You ain't getting no money back.
Yeah.
So I might call, hey, bro, he coming over there, man. He already paid over.
But we definitely never held nobody back. If a kid want to leave, I tell coach, man, let him go. We're not gonna hold no kid. That's crazy. Why would I want somebody on my team fighting for us that don't want to be?
They don't want to be there.
Okay.
So
parents
You
don't
can
wanna
leave,
be
but the
there.
money gonna stay.
the money gonna stay. The bread gonna stay.
That might have been a bad business model.
Yeah.
No, I get why you do it because see, I've done that too.
Taking from you,
Yeah,
Right.
none of that. You feel me? Like,
Right.
especially you ain't play no game yet.
Right.
Go ahead.
And see, we had that written into our application or whatever. You know, once you.
But somebody's gonna fight it.
Yeah. Well, they.
Oh, okay.
But it's leagues that have waivers, so like you technically property. So
That's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
You know what I mean? So like if I want to go play, you know what I'm saying, for Wood, and I'm in a certain league, I might got to get a waiver signed. And in most cases it'll get done because again, it might be vice versa. Like he might got a kid that want to come over here, and I got to sign. So as a gentleman, I'm gonna sign it for you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right.
So never hold a kid.
No, I don't. I think any kid want to go somewhere. Man, let them go ball. Let the family go do what they gotta do. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be. Nothing.
Shouldn't be.
I don't care if he the best person on the team or the worst kid on the team. Man, let him go and do what he gotta do.
But you know, I'm gonna bring something up, man. You know, now about talking about these pipelines into this high school stuff. Now, you know, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, no, I'm just saying, you know, some people might not want to talk about that. You know, the elephant in the room. You know, because you see a lot of high school recruiting that you did not see. And yes, on this podcast, we can say recruiting because that's what it is. You know, because they say they don't recruit in high school. And we all in this room know that that happens. Am I right or wrong?
It happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes.
Sometimes it isn't recruiting.
Or what they call, what's the proper word?
No. I'm just saying.
Sometimes winning recruit itself too.
Yeah, I don't call recruiting if a kid from Huguenot wants to come to my school and his parents are willing to do the things they got to do for him to come to my school. That's just me. To me, that's a parent that want to put their kid in a better situation.
And I've always felt that.
And that type of stuff right there, people definitely, I want to look in the camera when I say this. People need to stop their hating and stop telling on parents, and
Yeah, why-
especially when parents are doing the right thing. I mean, I'm talking to high school coaches right now. There are high school coaches that will pick the phone up and tell. That
Oh,
to
yeah.
me, that is weak.
I've seen that too.
All right?
I've heard that. I
If
should
your
say.
product isn't good enough, then fix your product. But don't hate on another kid because he want to, or him and his parents want to go and put themselves in a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because why should I do that? If I can get another place and get residency and we're good,
Mm-hmm.
we're good. But no, the telling stuff, man, that's awful. That's awful to me. Because to me, you know you're hurting the child,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing it,
And you doing it on purpose.
and
though.
you're doing
Right,
it.
you're doing it
If
on
you
purpose.
know what, ultimately you trying to get to some type of consequence.
Yeah.
Because that's why you chose to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a kid isn't right or parents hasn't gotten right yet, because like it's a process. I did it, right? But it's a process, and if that kid is caught, supposedly quote unquote caught, it's a 365-day penalty to pay for that. When the kid is ineligible, right? So you know there are some coaches recruiting, and like you said, like Robbie said, sometimes you don't have to recruit. You win. You win. That's all. That's all it takes. Just no different from everybody. I want to go to Ohio State because it's a great school.
Well, you want to go to where it's the best for
Yeah,
your kids.
yeah. So you know, it's just to me that needs to stop, man. And if kids don't want to be there, man, let these kids go, man, and stop causing problems for the families and stuff that's trying to put their kid in a better situation.
Yep.
Then for me, I just try to make our presence known. You know, like we had youth games every week. You know, try to make our presence known.
Very
You
important.
know, so for the younger kids that's in the city, I definitely try to let them see us. Let them see me at the game. Let you know I care. Let you know that okay, you're supposed to come to me. Hey, look, we want you there.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Shake hands, take pictures, smile, whatever it is.
That's right.
And they know that we.
I
we
think that's
support you.
dope, man.
You know what I mean? So that's
It's necessary, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's dope.
Yeah.
I do.
It's necessary.
You know, and like I said, we don't mind, you know what I mean, building from the youth up. You know, we had an infusion of about 27, 30 kids that been playing together since they was 10 years old. You know, came a human audition and they did well. We just need to keep building the pipelines after that.
That's
After
right.
that,
Right.
After that, you know what I'm saying? So,
Longevity.
you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's important to go see these, younger kids, and they call it recruiting. I don't know what they call it, but I want you to know we're here.
I think
that
it's
we
dope.
want you to be here. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of
No, I like that. Like I said, cause see me on the basketball side, we didn't really. At least I didn't see that. My son played in the city, but he went to school in the county. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't seen no high school coaches coming out there like that and interacting like that. It was more the AAU teams coming out there more than anything. But what I've learned is the last couple of years, man, I've got addicted to it. You know, y'all on the football side now. I mean, especially remember like the game y'all played against Varina, we did the live and stuff, man. It had so many people on the live. And then I went to your game, y'all play Oscar Smith. I left at halftime and went over there. Yeah. And that game was crazy to see how many people that was involved in that stuff, man. And like I said, I would say to me, I give y'all all the kudos, man, because I don't know how y'all manage it to deal with the personalities and the parents and just kind of managing it all. And then y'all got your own families and your own kids. I just don't know how y'all do it, man.
And I wish more parents and more spectators respected that as well, because we're not making no money.
Y'all not making no money from it.
And the time that we put in, we with other people's kids more than
y'all own.
Let's just keep it 100, man. And you have people that don't appreciate that. They don't. They just do not appreciate it. You the worst person on earth just because they're a kid not starting or whatever. You know what I mean?
Because they got an ego.
Yeah, but it's and don't get me wrong. There are a lot of parents who do appreciate it, and I appreciate every last one of y'all.
Yeah,
but
right.
Keeps you going.
Yeah, but there are parents who just don't appreciate it, man. And I'm not here to hurt your child.
Well, they ain't
I
never
would have
won.
volunteer time to hurt your child. But
I think a lot of the parents we need more volunteers, like whatever.
Get involved.
Because they see Saturday. You know, a lot of these parents don't come to practice. They drop the kid off, but they don't see what these organizations and these coaches got to do to get to Saturday. As far as, you know, you need board members, you need people to help set up your field, run the clock. I mean, it take a lot. So I think more than anything, while the parents are criticizing those that do and those that want to figure out a way to help, is reach out to your organization and see what you can do to help, you know, help them.
That's the first thing I have to do. You complaining? Here go application. You want to be on this board?
Yep.
I did the same thing for coaches. I used to hold, well, I could tell you, coach at Glen Lee, back when I was there,
White boy.
I'm giving you a test. And I had some coaches coming to the meeting with me to be a head coach, and they get so intimidated, be like, you know what, man, I don't even want to be the head coach. Because I want to see what you know. Hey, what's your specialty, bro? Well, I'm an offensive coach. Okay, show me a power, off tackle power against a 5-man front. Give me everybody responsibility. And the dude sitting there holding the pen, shaking. All right, bro. This ain't for you, dog, but you know, you be an assistant. So I held them accountable. I made them be involved in every aspect of the organization.
Okay.
They're gonna be in there with me, sorting uniforms, sorting pads, washing uniforms, the whole nine. Because
Helping with concessions.
Working with concession, I held everybody accountable. You're gonna do this fundraiser because guess what? Me and the board did this in January, so we already did ours. I'm not gonna have them doing anything that we didn't do. And when you get people involved, they're more vested because they don't put time in, and that's when they start to understand the importance of it and what it takes to run an organization, the money it takes to run an organization. I used to hate to hear people, what y'all doing with the money?
Oh yeah, that's what you hear.
I used to go to my financial lady, Cheryl Reed, shout out to Cheryl. Cheryl give me a printout of every penny. Here it is right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot behind youth sports that like one of y'all, I think Wood said, you just see what's on Saturdays. You don't see, because guess what, when the season over, that last championship played December, whenever, board meeting next month.
Oh, for sure.
And we got it, and it's in February.
Start
it's in
all over
March.
again.
We never stop. We never
It's
stop.
crazy when you added 2 seasons. You added
Oh yeah,
spring.
I never touched that because that was after my era. But I told Rodney today, I said, dog, how do you do it?
I want to say how y'all do.
I don't know
all
how he
this
does it. I don't know how y'all
Spring,
do
I
it.
mean, so with me now, I mean, of course, at first, I had my son in it for a little while, you know. So I was gonna be there regardless. But now, like, I can't do it without my board. You know, shout out to my whole board that helped run Rich City.
Yes, Lord.
Like, I can't do it without them at this point. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's doing it without a board, I don't know how they do it because I know I can't do it without the people that help us.
Definitely gotta have good people. You know, like I said, we started in 2010. We went away for a year and a half. Like shut it down because it wasn't the way I couldn't do it. I just went to life. We shut it down for a year and a half. Came back stronger than ever. Came back with 300 kids, but at the end of the day, they had to get people back lined up, good people back lined up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I get everything everybody's saying. You definitely need your board, you need your support. But again, I still feel like it's too many programs. I'm gonna keep saying that.
No, it is.
It's too
It's
many
definitely-
programs, and that's part of the thing I know we talked about earlier about what's watering it down. That's watering it down
Yeah.
too. It's
It's
too
like
many
AAU back in the day. AAU
Yeah.
back.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I mean,
Yeah,
it is
Richmond
the
Metro,
same
and you
thing.
had Squires.
Squires, that was it.
And we was dominating the country.
Dominic White, right? And then you had Boo, and that was it.
And Boo, yeah.
Right.
I mean, but you know, it's
But up here it was just them two. Metro, then Team Richmond came along.
you got
whatever.
organizations now. This is and
Oh, my
please
God.
don't take this wrong way, but you got organizations now that got 2 teams. Like
It's about money.
it's tough. You know, I'm not even gonna say that, but
I'm gonna say it.
it's tough to. It's tough, like you said. It waters down the competition.
It watered down the product.
And we have a great competition here, and that's one of my points I used to try to bring up when I was going back and forth about the travel ball. Because there was like, ain't no competition here. Well, ain't no competition here because all the competition spread it out.
Spread it out.
Too thin. Like you go back to the 90s and early 2000s when I was talking about, man, ballers. And we talking about guys in the league. They ain't never played no spring ball and stuff like that, and got exposed and all that. And I'm not knocking what they was doing, but I was just trying to get my point across because there were a lot of parents who thought they had to do that. And I was just letting people know you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of coaches want to come through the door, and the first they want to know what other sports you play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you playing football 24/7, that's a little turn off.
So that's why I said.
And then to touch on it, that as well, Robin Noah, and I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but some of the guys that we're getting, so we're in that era now that we're getting the kids that started when spring first started, and they playing 6U spring fall all the way to their 13. When they get to high school, their bodies are tapped.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to
Their
like the next
bodies are
question.
tapped.
Right.
Because one day I got my pen and started writing it down. The kids now that are playing spring ball and fall ball from 6U to 13U has played more football than I played from the age of 8 to 24 by the time they're in the 8th grade. What do you think that does to your body?
So that's what I'm saying. So with all of that being said, with all the changes at the college and the NFLs and stuff is making that, y'all don't think that hurts the game?
Well, I mean, it could. But I mean, I got so many opinions on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no,
I'm
get
gonna
one.
speak from a personal first. Again, I got 2 sons that did it. You know what I'm saying? So, my baby boy 10. You know what I'm saying? He probably won't play spring ball no more. He do 7-on-7. But they're different
That's great.
different type of kid than
That's excellent.
So
Yeah.
you know, he every time he hit, he want to blow you up. You know what I'm saying? So he don't need that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
He don't.
Junior was a quarterback. It still is that. I felt he needed those in-game reps. You feel me? And then as far as the Canes, we practiced only 2 times a week.
Yeah, same
all
here.
year.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
from fall and spring. And then on that
Like that
Thursday, we weren't even hitting them. You know what I mean? So for me, I did the same thing. You did put it on paper. I'm like, well, we ain't even hitting. But this. And then on Saturdays, like to be real, and the reps just watching it know, like we might play for 25 minutes because they running that thing
Game
like
over.
that.
Yeah.
Ain't no, if you don't got no clock for real, they running it.
They running it, yeah.
If you got the show, you know what I mean?
Game started at 1, you
But
be
see,
going home at
everybody-
1:19.
A lot of things, Charles, a lot of coaches that I saw at the time, they didn't know that. They weren't doing that. I go to practice, they banging.
Hey, listen, they warm up
And
the
they
first
warm
50
up
minutes,
scrimmage, whole
scrimmage, the whole rest of
Warm up
practice.
scrimmage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
So,
like,
yes.
like, yeah, Bar,
Yeah.
You know, Bar again, big cane.
Yeah.
Bar ain't hit that on Thursday.
Yeah.
They might have helmets on.
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
so hot too. Don't remember. He went to Florida with LeBron on the floor. You know,
Yeah, but like Charles said, man, he knew what he was doing. I saw a lot they did. You feel me? So, you know, it's definitely a lot of, like he says, a lot of sides to the story.
Yeah.
I'm glad 7-on-7 is finally picking up here for the youth. I tried it, how long ago that was? We did do it.
I already said, yeah, when did that come
did
along?
I did it.
picked
was-
up
I
one
did it. I
time,
did it one
too.
time.
3 different
You know,
years.
at the time, I was still involved in the record. Ain't too many people like me, so I ain't get a lot of
At the
support.
time.
Yeah. So, but that is very important to understand the aspects of the game: coverages, routes, combinations.
So 7-on-7 is kind of enhanced
man,
and helped.
I
the
love
game.
it.
The babies are learning coverage. So,
Yeah.
like if you think
I
you
love
got, you got a baby, let's say anywhere from 10 and under, and he playing corner, right? He ain't dealing with nothing but sweep right, sweep left, toss right, toss left, tight end seam. So he don't know no coverages, man. He don't know, you know. So, but again, so now he's doing 7-on-7. He ain't got no choice.
You
If
understand.
we got there in the right program,
Yeah.
but to learn coverages.
Yeah.
And now, again, you're going to see that trickle up to the high schools
Yeah.
because they're learning it at an earlier age.
gonna make it better.
So
Okay.
I'm super ecstatic about 7-on-7 being in the area. You know what I mean? But what I do say is your other area, everybody want to compare it to Florida, Texas, Cali,
Right,
Alabama,
yeah, right.
Georgia. Again, their weather's different.
Because they're all year long. They got
So-
good weather all
they
year
can be out
long.
there in January, you know what I mean, February, because it's a little warm out there. But we can't really be out there in February throwing the ball around. It's ice outside, your hands freezing. So again, we got to start a little later. But I'm glad that it's here.
Yeah, me
You know
too.
what I mean?
So I'm very happy. Who do y'all know who started? Because I don't even know.
I mean, so you guys remember during COVID, we did it that one year.
Okay.
And after that, you know, it kind of, but like we had done it with the marathon, like, you know, the travel 7-on-7.
Okay.
We had started that a while ago, but now the guy Rich, He's doing the one on Sundays.
Okay.
And I think now, to be honest,
That's the one that hit Ryko?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Butler
good.
got Friday night.
Yeah, whoever
Yeah,
Rich,
and then they
Rich
got the
dude.
other
Oh, I think
dude.
I saw the Rich dude on live this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I didn't know that was, but yeah,
That's
that's
a wild boy, but
Yeah,
whoever
yeah,
the hunt.
but Rich, good job with that, bro.
Yeah, no, the 7-on-7, that's big. I agree with you.
Yeah,
The
that's
key,
awesome.
the key thing Charles said a minute ago was getting with the right program when he was just not talking.
Yeah.
That's key, right? And I mean, not slighting anybody else, but if I'm a parent, I'm gonna dig around a little bit and figure out who know football. All right, what you gonna teach my kid? What is he gonna learn? We could start today. All right, in 2 months, what's he gonna know?
Yeah.
If you're not asking them questions as a parent, man, something wrong. You know what I mean?
The average parent don't really
That's
know.
what I'm about to say. Like Barr said, you got a 26-year-old mama with a baby out there. She don't even know.
She don't even know what to ask. Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So what's the answer?
That's a whole
Yeah.
that's a whole nother
At
talk.
that point,
Yeah.
you know, it's just the trend.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Yeah.
just trying to get the kid
what
up
she
in
gonna
there.
do
Yeah.
is
Look at
go
social
to the-
media.
to the Flyers program.
Mhm.
Who got
Yeah.
Packers uniforms? Who out there having a ball?
Right.
Whoever her homegirl.
And they could.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you was a hit or miss. Now you just gambling. You know what I mean? So finding the quote unquote right program might be the program that's only 5 minutes from instead of the one that's 30 minutes from.
Oh,
Yeah.
That make it the right program.
Yeah.
That make it a more convenient program.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
And I was saying that, I said it a while ago, orgs need to offer parent classes. Like, if you're new to the org, you have to attend a week-long course, maybe an hour here, 3 days, whatever it is, and teach your standards, your ethics. You know, let them know what you're doing behind the scenes, what you're going to teach their kid, what their kid's going to leave at the end of the season with. You know, you got this, like a great coach told me, coaching ain't just coaching kids, you got to coach coaches.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
coach the parents. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at them if they don't understand what you're doing. If they don't understand what you're
Who
doing.
did the football for moms? I remember it was a thing.
Redskins.
I thought, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it
Redskins.
was. Yeah.
But I thought that somebody local did it.
I mean, I know who went. I know the Cowboys
Yeah,
went.
yeah, I think some
Yeah,
people,
that was- I remember that
people
program.
participated, but I think the Redskins was the one.
Yeah.
Who actually,
One of the things that doesn't get talked about enough is football ain't for every kid either. It's not. It's not T-ball. You don't have to try it. It's
Remember your man, Coach
it's not
Gene said
soccer,
that.
right? And once you start dragging your kid to practice, and he's 10, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to do this."
That'd be the parent that want to curse you out.
That's
yeah, you right though. You
That's
right.
why-
You
That's
right.
the problem too, because again, you have some leagues where if he on that roster, he got to play. And depending on how many on the roster, it might be 4 players, it might be 8 players, hell, it might be 12 players.
Yeah, how do y'all deal with that? Because I don't want to play these people, so why do I have to
If
be
he got
forced
that
to
uniform
play
on,
them?
he checked in,
I
he
hate
got to play.
Yeah.
I'd have had kids.
I don't want to do that.
Hey, we gotta get these people in. Hey, come on.
I don't even wanna go.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't even want to play.
Yeah.
You would love to be said. No, coach, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the parent is asking from the opening kickoff for him to play. And
Boy, yelling from
The
behind
kid
the
don't
fence.
want to touch the field.
So that's
Right.
why I feel like some of the issues that we have is, your program can fix it, but it still got to go all the way up to the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to get a kid hurt, man.
Right. But that don't
With all
matter.
these new rules in place, man, man.
You still got dogs. Dogs gonna figure out a way, you know.
Yeah.
Kids that can play, they can play. You know what I'm saying? Within the rules.
So I'm a Marine, so we're taught to follow rules, even though I love to break them, you know. But it's
How
one of
you
those-
balance
so
that?
why did that rule come into place?
Which one?
That kids have to play.
Must play.
Yeah, because coaches was letting good kids sit on the bench because they were playing their regular people. So I get where it came from, but it needs to be tweaked. Because like you said, you go to a kid and be like, come on, you got to get in. Oh, coach, I got a headache. You know, I think I left the stove on. This kid ain't low. You know how to cook. There's any excuse in the book because I don't want to get out there, but you're forcing them out there.
Yeah.
Lord forbid he get hurt. But even worse than that, somebody get hurt because he don't do what he's supposed to do, and somebody else get hurt. So I hate that mandatory play rule. I understand why they did it, but it needs to be tweaked.
Oh, y'all, go ahead,
I
Rich.
don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but again, if we talking about teaching again,
Everybody should be ready.
so well, that's.
I mean-
Cats just don't want to be ready. It's- you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm saying we're talking about teaching. So how can we teach a kid that you ain't did everything you're supposed to do? You're not ready, but we gonna make you play. That's not in real life. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, then you're not gonna get A. if you got goals set and you need the A, B, and C to reach those goals, which their goal might be to play, you ain't ready to play. You don't know the assignment. As soon as they snap the ball, you're gonna run backwards. Why are we making this kid play?
And that's the other part of it too.
You destroyed his confidence.
You start the participation trophy area, like
Oh my God.
so I gotta sit the kid to come to practice, bust his ass 24/7, right mentality, team kid. But I gotta pull him and a couple other kids that give it their all for kids who don't care. The parents might not even bring them but one day of practice. Hell, some of these parents don't make it to practice all week. But they know if they bring that jersey, that's a free golden ticket
know
to go
they
to
get-
see when they walk in the chocolate factory, and you got to put them in.
Yeah.
It ain't fair.
Are y'all transparent with these parents and let them know straight up that these kids just ain't that good and they don't need to be playing? Have y'all ever had that?
Hey, look, a good coach is, but also a good coach also knows how to communicate that too. You know what I'm saying?
Part of my principle.
Yeah, and that's something you need to see in,
Because
in the
y'all
beginning.
can see, it's just like a dog. You can smell it. You can smell it.
You can
okay,
tell.
yeah.
You can watch a kid walk over.
Yeah,
so you can
right. You can
have an
already
idea.
know that.
All right, I may have to work with him a little bit more.
Right.
Or this kid may,
But
you know what I'm saying?
some kids that just don't need to be out
Yeah.
there.
But sometimes
So do you have that conversation to say,
It depends on what-
you don't need to be out here?
Depends on what league you in and what level you in. Again, like I said, when you talking travel ball, once you get to when you get to states and regionals and nationals, it's a whole different situation.
Right.
Did y'all have travels? Did y'all when y'all was doing travel?
you can't.
You can't have.
Yeah, you can't have
So you just have to pick your kids.
Well, whoever comes,
Whoever comes.
you
You
just
push
sign
it
up.
down, that's where your transparency come in. If you got a kid that you know this ain't ready for travel ball, he gonna be an NPR player.
That's when you let
know
the
what I mean?
parent
And
know.
you might say, look, it's a long ride, it's expensive. He gonna play 4 plays if it's a dog fight. I'm gonna play him. Because I feel like, again, we can
You wanna go
because he
to
do
Florida.
something well, right? Whatever
Yeah,
he do well, whatever he do well, he do something well. Something he do well. You know what I mean? He might just plug the 8 gap well
Okay.
for 4 plays, right?
Okay.
Or he might just run off the edge and scare the hell out of the quarterback. He do something good.
Right.
So whatever we do, but it might only be.
But you'll figure it out,
again,
right.
Damn liability, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's where your transparency come in. Like, look, mama, hey man, he ain't gonna play with 4 plays. Now you might drive to Maryland this week. Might go to Carolina next week, 7-5 next week. Now we've been to nationals every year, so you go down to Florida, of course, or right around Christmas time, for to play 4 plays, because it get tough at nationals. You feel me? So you got to be real with them, and again, a lot of the parents will still go because again, I had a good group, so they love the other parents. So now the parents on vacation,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they going. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So you about to damn, boy, I got this NPR player with us. You know what I'm saying?
So the Nationals, they got mandatory play rules.
Oh, yeah, it's the same.
I didn't know that. That's
See,
I
you
know
guys
we
lose
like,
with
yeah,
that because of
for
that.
sure.
Because at the third quarter, at the end of the
Mismanagement.
third,
So you
They're
you gotta
scrambling,
put 'em-
scrambling, trying to get him
Everybody
in.
gotta go in.
and you got at the end of that third quarter, everybody they got their mandatory plays have to play
How
at
many
the same
plays
time, right?
Have them in
Depends on how
the
many-
Depending on how
yeah,
many you got
how
on
many
your
kids
team.
you got?
So if you got over 25,
So
it's
it's
like 4
percentage.
plays. Yeah.
Oh,
you got 16 on your
that's-
roster, they got to play like 12 plays.
8 plays.
Man,
Oh, 8
yeah,
plays. got
yeah.
16.
Man, and you have to actually have somebody to actually sit down and
They-
count
they-
them.
No, they
Yeah.
got
Oh, they got
some-
Somebody check it
That's
off.
what
Oh, my
Checklist.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they do it.
That's tough.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like again, I had to tell a parent today, you know what I mean, about the showcase that we got for the high school. You know,
Right.
Like we're not taking 86 kids. You know what I'm saying? We're only taking like 35 of them. And he wasn't ready, right? So I had to tell her, at the end of the day, it's also my job. Yeah, I know you want exposure, but I don't want to take him to an exposure event and he get exposed.
And get exposed.
We had to tell people that all the
So,
time.
Yeah.
So I had to tell him he ain't ready yet. He will be ready.
Right.
Because he a dog. He just ain't ready yet. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not gonna take him out there to get exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just exposure.
That could hurt him.
So that's the transparency that we have. And again, it ain't feel good to tell her that, but I had to tell her. It's my duty to tell her that and to keep it 100 with them. And then she respected that more than anything. Like again, I've learned that when you straight up honest, 90% of them can respect it when you transparent and honest.
And the other 10% is doing this. They're bringing you a plate and say, hey, can I bring you something to eat?
You
know what I'm saying?
Or
You know, We'll won't get into that part because that's a whole different conversation.
Just don't get it. They're unrealistic, you know what I mean? And you can't have conversations with unrealistic people, you know what I mean? So again, but that's only a small percentage. So again, I can sleep well at night because again, we are transparent. We teach our other coaches to be transparent, you know what I mean? Again, I'm in every meeting, you know what I'm saying? And I might make you run that meeting, but I'm in it so I can help you do that and learn that. And that's from the youth level up, you know what I mean? We give everybody one meeting. You got one meeting. You call it early, you call it late, but you gonna get one, and we're gonna have to take the time to meet with you about any of your concerns. You're gonna get one.
This shit just rubbed me all the wrong way. No did it. That one meeting shit. Man, we in LCA, and a certain person wanted to meet, and I'm like, not having no fucking meeting with him. Like, he got the film, he was at the game, like, it's blindingly obvious. Case of race, Sarah, whatever. The kid ain't ready yet. What do you want to talk about? Like I've said it before. And you be like, no, everybody get to meet. That's same shit you said right there. I'm like, when you go fucking talk to him, like, I don't got nothing to say to him. Like when you said somebody, you talk to a parent, and they're like, we need to talk, Coach Bar. I'm like, about what? About such and such playing time.
You know this.
Or such and such getting benched, right? Like, well, did you watch the film from the last game? He was like, yeah, I did. Now, like, it was horrible. Did you see it? It was horrible. Like, I disagree. We can't fucking talk.
Right.
It's nothing for us to talk about. We was like, I'd rather bang my head against the fucking wall than sit here and watch you bang yours against the wall.
They not gonna see
and I tell parents all the time, like,
That's when you gotta bring the film out.
right.
You the cut up film, especially for quarterback.
I was not.
Cut it up for you.
Oh,
Misreads.
But like you said though, like being honest with parents, like
that is, y'all go through it, man.
it's important. But that's the problem of the world though.
No, I don't.
Most broken relationships, friendships, whatever you want to call it, is because lack of communication.
No, ineffective communication.
Most human beings aren't able to have a difficult conversation. And I hate to say difficult conversation because most conversations don't have to be difficult if you both express where you're coming from with respect.
Exactly.
But it's the fear of it may being difficult that stops people from doing it. Like I might tell you, hey, look, I'm gonna do ABC for you on Friday, next Friday. Something might come up, people will ghost you. Rather than call you and be like, hey, I know I told you I'd do A, B, and C, but something else
That's a
came
difficult
up.
conversation.
They would
They wanna
duck
have that.
you instead of having that conversation and being honest with you. And it's the same way with coaches, parents. You know, they don't want to tell a parent that their kid ain't really there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem with it. And when we talk, me and you talk, it's not going to be, well, such and such kid, like, no, we can talk about yours.
We're talking about your
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Not talking about nobody else. We can talk about yours, where he's at, where he came from, where he can be, and let's be realistic about it. But a lot of people don't want to have that conversation. Shout out to everybody, the people that can. And it shows when you do have those conversations, but the majority of people can't and won't.
From a rec perspective, when you had them conversations early, like I used to always have a parent meeting the very first day, halfway through practice. My coaches would run the rest of practice. I had a list of things. I had them sign what those things were, saying that we went through them. Parent wasn't there. Hey, can you meet with me tomorrow? I'm gonna go over this. You know, every parent knew it had to do everything with how and when to meet with me, playing time, how it's earned, etc. Right? So it was the groundwork was already laid out. Right? So that's the first. To me, it's never a difficult conversation, but that was the first difficult conversation from a parent perspective.
Okay.
So now they know when and why my door may be open, and all right, I can't talk to him about this. He already said this is a bunch of, you know. So the groundwork's already laid, and I started doing that. I got a lot more success in communication and parent communication because they were open to it and know when and how to communicate with me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches, you know, now younger guys, they don't include that part of it because sometimes some people just uncomfortable talking to a group of people. You know what I mean? So they don't want to do that. But when you do that in the beginning and nip that in the bud and you set your standard right now, this is my standard of this team and that's it. If you guys don't want to, you know, be here and adhere to it, that's fine. You guys get free before we start practice. Go ahead and get your refund, go elsewhere or whatever else. But the standard's already set. You know what I'm saying? High school as a position coach did the same thing. You know, as far as with the players. They knew what the standard was, and that's it. So once you lay that groundwork, and you're not just playing guesswork as the season goes on, or trying to put those fires out as the season goes on, you never get those fires in the first place because you already set the standard. You know what I mean? In the beginning.
What was the phrase, CJ? I hate to see you leave, but don't you ever think that I need you. I want you here, but I don't need you.
You know what you said?
Yeah, I want you, but I don't you ever think that I need you.
Yeah.
Well, we got 1 minute really. Before we get, I hate to end this real quick. because I wanted to kind of this to get going. Y'all was really getting to the nitty gritty of it. I got to get my man Zach out of here. Y'all got any one last thing y'all might want to add?
Can I say one quick thing? Truly, I mean this with all sincerity. The men in this room are heroes of mine. I know I'm the oldest one, but they've always been heroes of mine because they really, truly give back.
You could tell.
And when I see them, it makes me want to be better. And so I can only imagine what it's like for the young men that they coach.
No, shout out to these coaches, man, because like I said, I just, meeting Coach Barr and everything like that, man. But y'all do a fantastic job, man. But y'all spent so much time in doing it. I just don't know how y'all do it, but I just want to salute y'all for real, man, because this thing looked like for y'all is like 365. Yeah,
Definitely.
So, any quick shout outs that y'all got, man?
No, Woody, you gotta get back to me about Metro, man. I told you nobody interested. Ain't nobody said.
We put you on the hot seat.
Only thing I want to say to
put you here
the
on
younger
the
coaches and to people that run the organizations and in charge of coaches, work with your coaches on creating a practice schedule.
Yeah.
There should be a practice schedule that they can show you of what they're going to be doing each day. There never should be 7 kids that are 3-play kids just sitting on the ground on the side while everybody else on the field. Find something for them to do. Get them better.
Individuals.
Yeah, individual groups.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Break
A
up
lot.
the individual groups and just make sure y'all keep the kids first, man. Don't make it about you. Make it about the kids, man.
Well, I let y'all go out on that one, man. I thank y'all and I appreciate all y'all coming, man. Like I said, I want this thing to go on for another 5-10 minutes, man. We could, but I can't do that today. No, I wish I could, but we got to do this again before the season, and hopefully, what we got? This is May. Well, it'll be May tomorrow. I think we can maybe do this. Maybe what's y'all schedule? Well, let me get y'all. Well. We're going to reconvene on this. Maybe I can get y'all back in here June. How about that? Will June be a good month?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all, we're going to end this, man, from all the 804 youth coaches here, some of them high school coaches. We want to appreciate y'all watching. Again, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and comment, because this thing here, man, is blowing up, man. So thank y'all for watching, and we out. Over, make sure that y'all check out my man RickStockel.com for any of your home buying needs. Appreciate it. Thanks again.